Welcome to The Road Less Traveled with Tiffany Rosenbaum. This podcast is about sharing the success and failure of entrepreneurs. Join in and learn from others' mistakes so you don't have to go through the same hardships in business. Now let's welcome your host, business coach, real estate investor, and proud wife and mom, Tiffany Rosenbaum.
All right, welcome to another episode of The Road Less Traveled. We are excited. We have a team here that's gone from property management to website and leads. It's insane to watch because clearly digital is changing the industry. So I want to ask them first some questions. How you got this going? You both came from property management. So you're not married, you're not siblings, you're not, how did this thing come about? You got to tell us.
So we were serving on governmental affairs at Measurable together at the national level, and he was my vice chair. And we just kind of started talking one day and found out they were both studying and practicing SEO on our own property management websites. And so for about 3 or 4 months, organically, it just happened like every Friday afternoon to the last couple of hours of the day, we would end up on a Zoom together and we would just help each other with each other's websites, teach each other what we have learned that week, implement best practices. And then stuff just like kept lining up. And it really got to the point where Alex and I both felt like if we didn't take advantage of the opportunity that was presenting itself, that we were really going to miss out. So, we may fail. I hope not. But we won't. We won't.
I love that.
But it was just, there was so much opportunity pushing us in this direction that we just had to bite cold and do it.
Okay, so have you fully launched, first of all? Oh, wait, you fully launched. Okay, so the second thing is, how long did this start? Like, when was this first time you're like, hey, we're meeting every day? Like, when did y'all start meeting?
2 years ago.
Okay, so it's been a while. Okay, so then when was it like, hey, we're getting leads, we're changing things, people are seeing?
For us in our businesses, we started seeing a big growth in our own businesses, and then we were talking to people at conferences and things, and like, you can help us with your websites, our websites, to see what you're doing, and we're like, no, we can't. We're busy running property management companies and doing that, and it became a time where we're looking at each other like, Lacey, should we do this? Should we do this? And it took a minute for us to kind of make that jump, and it was probably June of this year. It was probably like 11:30, 12 o'clock at night, and we were looking at each other like, let's just jump into it. So we got online to the Florida summit is, and we like started filing the papers, and before you know it, we were coming.
Okay, so before we jump into like the nitty gritty of the leads and everything, I actually want to jump into the partnership side of it because I do think partnerships is so important to have everything in right. So, and not all the times people do it, but did y'all just jump in and create an LLC, or is it a...
Art was more.
Yeah, but no, do you have a partnership agreement? Do you have was it done by a lawyer? Was it done by you? How did y'all do yours?
It was done by us.
Okay.
We do have a partnership agreement, and it's pretty tight. We made sure we covered all the basics of what happens if something happens to one of us, or what happens when we can't agree on something. And so we put in this clause in our agreement that wherever if we can't agree on something, every other year, someone gets to be that tiebreaker. We haven't had to pull that clause yet, thankfully, but it's basically whoever's the person for that year kind of runs the show in that. But we're very much in sync with how we do things, and I think that's why we went forward with this business. It was because we knew that we were aligned. We have we align personally in a lot of things, and we understand that we're not going to put each other in a position to look crazy at any time. We came into this with a reputation from NARPO, and I think that's what's been different for us, is that a lot of these companies that come in and do SEO, you don't trust them. I know, because I didn't trust them. Like, it's just the people outside of our industry even. And we have that trust because we have those relationships even in the industry. And me and Lacey always say, we're not going to mess that up. We're not going to look crazy in front of these people. So, we're always going the extra mile to make sure that doesn't happen. And I think.
So you said something real quick. I actually want to go back just a little bit. You said, you asked a question that a lot of people actually don't ask when they start partnership. What happens if something happens to Lacey or you? And I think you hit something on the head there. Is this really where you talked about the things that need to be talked about? So often partnerships happen, but they haven't talked about expectation. They haven't talked about what is. And I find in partnerships, you better talk about what is. And I like that you talk about I hadn't heard it online desk where it's like, who's the tiebreaker? What happens? Usually people bring in board members or something so someone else can be the tiebreaker. So yada use it. I would love to follow up on how that works out. But one other thing said is you kind of drop the egos. There is no ego here. At the end of the day, it's best for the business. But how do you do that when, you're changing the website, you're looking at it, changing it? Does it never get into be like, dude, I just did that.
I think that's just our personalities. Like, I don't really, neither one of us are driven by ego. We're both humble people, and we're both rooted in reality, and we had not had to check each other because, you know, we've been in sync so far. And I know there will come a day where Alice and I don't see eye to eye, but we've gotten lucky. And like I said, but like he said, it is in the contract of what we'll do if that day comes. We did have his attorney review it. So by ourselves, but because we work in contracts.
Yes.
So like we do before we even got started, we were gonna have a solid contract between the two of us, and we have mutual respect for each other. And it's just a very it's a good working relationship because our personalities are so complementary.
They said over the tree important. I love it when you said humble. If you look at any of the really successful people, yeah, they might have an ego on the back end, but a lot of times they're really humble to help, to be there, answer questions. Most of the time when I talk to someone really, really successful, man, they're so humble, it's not like they will drop anything to help. They will talk to you about their business. They will be like, hey, this is what's going on now. We fix this, And being part of my board members, it's insane to watch them tell us it, and they're really humble with their team members. But let's go into the lead. So you started this company, and you're like, but you both run property management companies. How the heck are you doing that? Property management with a website, lead generation, all these different things. How are you keeping your head above water?
A lot of coffee.
I drink Celsius.
Celsius, good Celsius here too. We're very passionate about this, and our background, we're kind of servants at heart, and that's kind of how we do things. And so we've always been helping people. And this company wasn't built to become, the biggest company out there. It was built because we saw a need in our industry to where, people weren't getting what they were sold, and people weren't being able to grow. We're doing this to help our friends and family in the industry because we see that, following these. Google gives you the algorithm. They tell you what they want. They tell you what they require, what's going to make things hit. When you're not following that, you're not getting that same successes. We built this because we saw a need in this industry, and we want to help our friends and family in this industry really grow and do things. And I think that's what's been the biggest push and passion behind us, is because like the people that we're working with and that our clients are people we've known for years. And we've been so lucky in this, starting this. We had so many of, the big hitters in the industry support us, share our post, so that gives us another level of validation for people. But like I said, me and Lacey been in this industry for a long time. We know everybody. We have to see of them at multiple events throughout the year. We're not going to do anything that's going to hurt our reputation because, like we really truly believe in that, and that we want to make sure that whatever we do, whatever we put our name behind is, not going to make us look crazy. And we'll be the first to, like, if we mess up, I always say, like, if we mess up, we're human, things happen, but we're going to make it right. So that's kind of our philosophy at this.
So how are this? All right, so Legion, SEO, all these, there's big players in the game. Why you? I mean, what's different? Because I hate to say it, most of us get resident or tenant liens a lot of times. So what's different? Why can you find what other people?
So marketing agencies, especially marketing agencies outside of our industry, they always think that you're going for tenants. I don't understand that, but it's right. Like, I don't mean it. Yes, I mean going off of tenants, sort of, right? I don't need tenant leads. That's what the MLS and Zillow is for. That's why they exist, like, to get me tenants or to get the owners tenants. I need owners because those are my true clients. And so That's the difference between hiring somebody outside our industry. Once you come inside the industry, it is more streamlined towards owner messaging. But what's happened is there are such big companies that the content is copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste. And even the right website structure, like the technical parts of it that make your website more readable by the different web crawlers that serve them to the top of the page. So we're focusing on the correct messaging, user experience, like the workflow of opening the page. Where do you have to click? How many clicks does it take to find the answers to what the owner is looking for? Those are all really, really important things to think about. And because the websites are copy and paste more or less, it's they don't they're the other companies are built for scale, and we're built for individualism. So we really look at the brand of the company and build that into their website so that when those specific keywords are searched for, or something that's going to make them stand out from their peers or from their competition in their market, we really go after that. And to be honest, it's just not reasonable for a giant company that supports so many client websites, so many user property management websites, that they can provide that type of service. Their staff would have to be insanely large to provide like a boutique experience, and really hone in on each brand individually.
Well, and they're doing them in the same market. So they may have 20 clients in the same market. And to differentiate each of those 20 clients is a big thing. And so one thing that we're doing is we're not taking about 20 clients in market. We may take a couple, but we're able to create that strategy. And the thing that we've seen is there is no strategy behind it with the other. They're putting the basic city name, property manager, city name, property management company. So there's, they're not diving deeper into those things that people are actually looking for. And for us, it's been, I was a client of a lot of these companies, and for me, it was we were rebuilding our website 2 years ago, and it kind of opened the door to all this. And it was like they give you a template, they give you a worksheet that basically has all your page content on it. And here's the thing: it's not their fault. It's the property management company's fault that's not taking the time to build out that content and customize it for themselves. So I want to make that very clear. Like, yes, they're handing them this, but they're not taking the extra mile. I took the extra mile, rewrote every page, rewrote every word on there to make sure that it was custom to our business, our processes, everything that we're doing, so that we're not. Because I guarantee you go look right now, pick 5 property management companies, they're all going to have the same content on their websites. And again, not that company's fault. They're giving them the outline, and they're just not taking the time to do it. I took the time to do it, and when I did that, our website just took off. And that's what opened this whole door, was because people want things, but they don't put the work behind it. And I understand.
So you said your website took off. Can you give it a little bit of data behind that? Because people go, what does that mean? What does it mean by it taking off?
Yeah, so we were not really seeing, we were seeing basic lead flows coming in, just 1 or 2 through a month. We were up to, at one point we were getting 40 organic leads a month from from Google. Went from, I think, over 2, the impressions is not something I like to lean onto as a true data, but we were getting like 200,000 impressions every over a 3-month period. We're getting,
I don't like just.
I don't either. But well, because it isn't. But the jump for 200,000 over 3 months to 1.5 million.
No, it's huge. I want it to be a convert, and
There to Z. Yeah, and it does. But we've seen that conversion happen too. So obviously the more impressions you have, the more
It's a numbers game.
it's a numbers game. And so, but that was just one of the bigger numbers that was like, okay, wait, that's where you're kind of seeing that. But then we had to focus on how do we get those impressions to convert over to true leads. So we worked on our user experience in that. We did A/B testing with our call to actions and things like that. So how do we get them from that page? So we really changed that experience on our website, and we're able to see
It's customized.
it's customized. And what are people looking for? You're not doing, book a call. You're doing, you're really changing the wording to, book a consultation, book a no pressure consultation, book a no pressure property management, all these different things you could do, and just really changing that experience and making it easier, and not, putting an actual schedule link right on there. You can schedule. You don't have to wait for me to call you to schedule. You can schedule right then and there. Using Calendly or whatever, Salisbury you use. People want now. They want instant. They don't want to wait. And some people don't want to talk to you on the phone. Some people don't want to wait for you to talk on the phone.
Sure.
And you have to kind of meet everyone where they are. So we have a couple options on our page. Do you want to book a meeting now? Do you want to, like, on our side, it's like book a strategy call? Or is it, just go here to our store and see what you pick, what you want? So you have to kind of meet everyone where they are, because everyone's in a different part of the journey of, the purchasing journey.
I was just talking to someone about this because, in property management, people are like, in business, everything needs to be the same. It just needs to be processed immediately. But in reality, if you look at Starbucks, if you look at Amazon, if you look at Chick-fil-A, if you look at these people, you come in and you can take options. What do you want, right? Same thing in property management. Really, you do need to customize. You need to be able to customize to your owner's experience. Because you want clients, they're not coming to your business because of how you do it 9 times. Then they want to know that their property is going to be taken care of, that they want calls a certain way or text messages a certain way or emails. They're all different people. And like I talked about today, people are psychology, and everybody has a way of belief, and that belief system builds on how we want things. So what has been the number one issue with starting a business, like painfully?
I think the biggest pain point for us was figuring out process, right? So there's no other company like us in our industry. So we've had to go outside to kind of figure out what that process looks like, and finding somebody that like fits into our company. So there are several options out there to build out workflow, and we can use any of them. It's not just, we don't need just like property management workflow system. Yeah, right. I mean, they all work essentially the same, but it's finding the one that we like, the system that we like, and the system that makes us work best, and sticking to them, and then finding a dependable, somebody that's dependable and knowledgeable and holds themselves accountable to their position to help us move the ball along for each project.
So you're talking about hiring within your team.
Yeah. So that's been our.
That's been your biggest thing. Okay, let's talk about how you'll open up a can of worms. Okay, so do you have any team members?
We do. Well, we had when we initially launched, we had 2 that we brought on and pretty quickly. Found out that they weren't the right fit for our company because they wanted to do things their way, and we're yeah, they
Just never show up for anything.
Yeah, never. Yeah, and it was also it was
Had that experience?
yeah. It was definitely that, and then but it was also they had a lot of experience, but they took that as that they were able to do what they wanted and not listen to us. Like I said, the biggest thing we've had is not making sure that we're customizing to what we actually need to do as far as like for our client. They had different ideas than what we had, and we're at
Looking for tenants.
yeah, like me and Lacey, we're very type A. If you've not realized that.
No.
And you're sitting here gonna think, I think it's all 3 of us.
Yeah, I know. You talk about type A.
So me and then Lacey are very much, we know what we want, we know how we want it, and that was probably that I called it what is it, mutual uncoupling. It's kind of like we just kind of were like, you know what, this is not working for us. Kind of just let it go, and we were very kind of jumping into the next one. We were like making sure that we found the right person to come in, because like I said, me and Lacey we need someone that's going to kind of keep us in line a little bit, because we kind of squirrel around every once in a while, but that's because that's the creative in us. And, we get excited, or we're like, okay, let's do this. But we need someone to kind of find it. Our newest team member, he definitely keeps us in line.
So is he like an assistant? Is he build out? Like what is it?
So he built out our workflows, and he came from, I enrolled at a course almost 3 years ago now, an SEO course, and he was essentially the TA for the class. And it's a community, it's an online community, right? So it's still going, like, hey, we have it, but they're sunsetting the live support for it. So I saw that he was looking for work on LinkedIn, and he had asked me to like go endorse him, and I was like, of course, no problem. And then like 2 weeks later, he like put a little frame on his picture, open to work. And I was like, oh, really?
Oh, really?
So he knows, and like the parts of SEO that he likes to do is kind of the parts that we don't like to do. So it was just true.
We can all do everything, but do we do the...
Everybody has like there's so many different avenues that go into SEO, and the Alex has strengths that I can do, but he's better at it than me, and this vice versa, and he does the part that we don't particularly like to do. So
The tail, but like with dirty.
and he has worked for SEO companies before. We didn't have to train him and onboard him or anything like that. And he really is driven to help us succeed. So I feel like we got really lucky in that aspect because I already had a relationship with him. I knew he was talking about.
We already saw him work.
Exactly. So that's our. It was a really
No brainer.
for us, but also we just got really lucky.
Because we got unlucky in the first try, and so we were very hesitant, and we didn't lead with the contract the first time, and I think that was a big mistake. I think that in the first group of people, they were trying to kind of snowball us in the sense of where they wanted a piece of our business without taking a piece of our business, and that was very much
And you gotta be careful in this business because that
was very much a red flag for us, and that's when I kind of took a step back and like was looking around it and like, listen, this is not going to work. Like they wanted a good chunk of our business, and they thought that their expertise. But I was like, listen, you guys don't understand what we're bringing to the table. We're bringing on the community. We're bringing you're sitting the meetings. Your expertise is helpful, but it's not doing what we need. Doing what we're doing. Like,
And I don't know how many times I told him the strategy is to look for owners, not tenants. And every time they'd bring us like lists of keywords, it was all tenant focused. And it's like, this is not.
Okay, so your first hire, the struggle, everybody has that experience. Yeah, I almost.
well, how about you had it early? I guess.
I know, but I have more. I mean, unless y'all are perfect at it, I don't know.
No.
But then your second one's doing good. How long has it been with you?
It's about 3 weeks. I think that was rather fairly new.
So does he know the vision of the company, the mission, like what's the purpose of behind? Yes. Well, that's impressive because most companies don't have it early on, and then it becomes, at least that's what I did. It's like, what's the next step?
There's chaos. There is a little chaos with us in the hand.
I think that's just us.
So it's just us. That's just our personality, and we're not going to be those people that are always like. We have a very big vision, and very big ideas, and we're always wanting to do better and more. And I think that's why he's good. He's like, okay, guys, no. He's like,
he's very rigid by structure, and so he brings a good balance to the team. And honestly, every time I end a call with him or we end a call with him, I'm like, I think he probably thinks we're totally insane.
yes, absolutely.
Well, my number 2 does. I already text my own next year. We're rolling this out, and I'm like, don't hyperventilate. He's like, I'm hyperventilating the stress I put on him this year. I'm like, oh man, you're amazing. But your number 2 is important, and if you're a visionary and you're a go-getter, that number 2 has to be a little bit more like.
Yeah.
Slow the brakes.
Okay, we'll slow the brakes. What's the plan? How do we implement this? Gotta be able to. So you both visionaries, son?
Probably.
Probably, yeah, very much so.
Well, I know so because my husband is the one who grounds me at home in the property management company because it's not like,
So that's interesting. 2 visionaries sometimes can struggle to come together. So your number 2, your hire that you got, is he gonna be more the implementer?
maybe.
Okay. So that
I think it works though because we both run another company. And so having 2 visionaries that can contribute half time makes like one true visionary. So
okay. And has your vision always been the same?
No, it's changed. It's changed a few times. I mean, like the core vision has been the same. What we want to do with it, but we've changed things up. We had a new product like over the past couple of weeks that we didn't have in our plan, but it kind of just came about, and it makes sense. So we're very much open to different things, but the true vision of helping property managers grow their business that's the vision. It's really and it's really holding the other people in the industry accountable for the work that they're not doing. And it's really starting that conversation of like, listen, have you looked at your website recently? I know you're probably getting those vanity reports every quarter. And, like one of our clients ranking number 1 for property management mission statements. I looked at her and I said, "Are you selling property management mission statements?" No.
Never heard that actually.
Well, that was number what she was ranking for number one. And I was like, "You're not selling that, so how's that converting your business? So it'd be great that you're, but who's looking for that? Not your client." So it's like really, like because like I said, they just put all these things in front of you and it looks great and they talk fast and they tell you that you're doing great and then it's, oh yeah, put more money on your Google ads.
And also, you have to go back to, like Alex said before, you have to go back to property management company, the owner, and say they don't they don't know what questions to ask. It's such a technical field that it's like, okay, you can show me the shiny report from Google that says all this data, but what does that data actually mean, and what is actually converting? Like, okay, I have a million impressions for my mission statement, but the only people that should care about that are my employees.
Okay, so I differ on that a little bit. And we've changed that. We used to be that, but our clients will know our vision, our mission, and our core values. And the only reason why is I went to a conference and they were talking about this. Do your clients know what you believe? I'm like, oh shit, no, probably not. Why do you exist? And so we changed that. But I think what you said here is really, really important. I just had a banter back and forth with Mark Brown about this. I think it's a big issue in the industry where a property management company hires someone and says, "You're gonna fix my problems." Well, the problem is the property management owner, as much interest as they put in, is as much interest back. And when you're building a website, I'm sorry, I don't think you can do a phenomenal job, but unless that owner's gonna give you the information of their mission, their vision, what they believe in, why they exist, what's their brand supposed to look like, because their vision's in their freaking head. How do they get it out? And so we were just talking about this with software and everything. I'm like, the problem is what's sold is will make your life easier. But that's not what happens. Hey, well, it's not. You have to put energy behind it. It's a relationship. It's me coming to the forefront going, this is what I want, and this is my vision. If I don't give that out to you, how are you supposed to put that together?
So our mission and vision is on our website, like for my property management.
Yeah.
And on our website for Clearly Digital. But those aren't the key words that
Oh, I agree.
I need to rank to convert a client from a shopper.
And it wasn't her clients either that were looking. It was just random people. Random people looking for mission statement. Create a mission statement for the
You're
project.
starting a property management company and you type in property management, there's a statement. And so there were samples of that.
And I've never, no, and I wasn't saying on her, but like I don't know if our vision statement's on our website. What's that? So we put it on our newsletters. We do our monthly webinars. We do a live multi-webinar for our owners, and we talk about it every time. It's like, this is our vision. This is why we exist. This is why we want to do what we do. Oh, I also think that it aligns the team, aligns the owners. But I think this is a very intricate, I think this topic is really important. How much more successful is it when you work with someone that's really like engaged compared to someone who's not?
You mean like as in us together? Or
No, talking about someone that hires you.
Well, we make sure that they're part of the process. So, like you said, you want to know what their visions and goals are. Part of our implementation and onboarding is we're asking those questions because the first thing, well, even before that, when you do our strategy call with them initially, we're asking how fast do you want to grow? What are you looking to do? What are your goals for the company? Because that really puts it to the strategy. If you're looking to grow 5 doors a month, we're not going to give you full steam ahead, like put everything, the full gamut into the SEO. We can kind of truncate that strategy to where it's slow but steady. But there's some people that are like, I want to grow, 1,000 doors. I want to do this, and this. And if you're full steam like that, we can create that strategy. You're not getting, 2 blogs a month. You're getting 6 blogs a month or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
And
Content's huge.
content is huge. And we've really gotten in this new world of AI. That's, this is what everyone's talking about. AI, being found on ChatGPT, being found on all the different LLMs. There's a strategy behind it. Everyone's thinking, oh, SEO is dead. This is what's the big thing is SEO is dead. Traditional SEO, it's not dead. That's going to be the heartbeat of everything else because you have to have the traditional SEO portions in there for the LLMs to find you and for them to find you. So people are going straight bullet points, bullet points, bullet points. That's what they think. That's what they think is going to help them get at the LLMs. Okay, yes, you have to have that as piece in there, but you need to have the longer form in there as well. So if you look at our content that we do for the company, you have best of both worlds. So we've created a strategy that has you the traditional SEO. You're following the H1s to H4s. You're following the metadata. You're following the title tags and all the basics. Because without that, you're not going to get into the other things because they can't find you. So creating those strategies that really put those together. But we've really been able to depending on who the company is and what they're trying to do, we can put that strategy together. Because we met with one client, and he's like, "I only grow like a couple doors a month. Maybe we can help you with some blogs every once in a while, but you're not gonna give them the full strategy because it's not, and we don't want to
Wait,
overload anyone. Yeah, either.
100%. So you're telling me you haven't had anybody come on board that's not really engaged?
No, not yet.
Okay, so
Yeah, not yet.
Yeah, we're still fresh into this, and here's the thing.
no, the reason I say that is I'll tattle on myself. Uh, in 2013 or whatever, I was going to a company. I paid $5,000 or whatever. Never did anything with them. They tried to set up appointments with me. I was busy. I was just doing emails, being that busy bee. And so 4 years later, I went to a conference and I'm like, oh yeah, you remember me? Like I never got anything. They're like, "Oh, I'll let you have it now." I'm like, I paid $5,000. But I'm like, at some point, sometimes owners will come on, and what I want to get across is you have to be as much engaged. You can't hold these companies to some type of level when you're not the one giving them the information. And I really think in this industry, we actually have a problem with that a little bit. Like where they're like, hey, I'm going to put a software in place and it's going to take care of my problems. Or I'm going to put this consultant in place and it's going to take care of my problems. Or I'm going to put this website people in place and they're going to handle it. The owner has to come forward and help out.
Do you know what the problem is? The problem is the trust, the level of trust that we have in this industry. You tell me that this person's great, so I believe you, and that they're great.
Oh, you're tied somehow.
Yeah.
In this industry, you're tied somehow. I realized that.
Yeah.
And I hate to say that.
It's like, and it's like or you have all these people, or if they have a monopoly in whatever that space is, and they're the biggest, the loudest. I'm saying this all the time. Audit your vendors every 6 months, no matter who they are, no matter what you think they do for you, because a lot of these people are letting these other companies just run wild, and they're taking everything that they say with a grain of salt. They're a company trying to grow and build their business, and sometimes these companies aren't being fully transparent and honest with you. They're not telling you that. They're not in the you think they're in the business of they're in the business of selling Google ads. That's what they're in the business. That's where they're making their money. Is they're making their money by you spending more money on Google ads because they're a Google partner or whatever it may be.
I don't feel like this is specifically tied to this specific issue of getting the client buy-in or getting the client participation though. Like how many times you hear somebody say that they joined an association or they joined a chamber of commerce and they got nothing out of it, and it's like, well, did you go to any of the things that you were invited to? Do you read the emails you get from them? If you don't engage with this product that it's being delivered, then you're not going to get anything back from it.
I think that is huge. I really do. Like people ask me all the time, hey, are you part of this? I'm like, no, not right now because I can't give energy to it.
Yes.
Because if I can't give energy to it, it's literally a waste. I hate to say that, but it's true.
It's so true.
If I can't give energy to it, and I want entrepreneurs that are watching this, do not put money somewhere unless you can put energy to it, because then it's a waste. Now, there's a time and place for everything. I truly believe, and I think websites are so incredibly important. I think Google Ads are SEO. I think all that, and I think what you said is really important because SEO is not dead. I think it's really important because you see the shift in the industry. It's all AI. And don't get me wrong, I think AI is not going anywhere, but I think you're going to have both. I think you're going to need both. I was talking to the owner of Pure, and he said, you're going to see a cycle. We always do this. We're going to spike, everybody goes AI. And then guess what? We're going to spike right back because it's way too much AI. And so it's interesting to watch. But I love that you shared some issues with starting a business because I think everybody has it. But what would you tell our viewers that are starting a business in a partnership, by the way, and they're going through the ups and downs? They're trying to get started. They're trying to do it. They're struggling with hiring. What would you tell them?
Make sure you like the person you're going to business with. That's the first thing, I think. And then make sure that you align in different areas, even outside of business, because I think that's what's been great for us. We were friends first. We were nerds first. That's how I like to say. We were nerds first. We were really in this, and we've become, and it's really brought us even closer, just because we're on the phone all day some days, and it's like we're making these decisions and we're doing these things, and it's like we've never had. We will have that day, like she said. We will have that day where we're gonna come in. We're gonna be like, "Hey, we can't make this decision." But I'm always gonna make sure that I know that she's the same way. I'm gonna make sure she's good, and she'll make sure I'm good. And I think that's important that you have that respect with each other, and just do it at midnight. Jump into it. And here's the thing. I'll tell you a little secret that I don't think I've said this publicly yet. So when we did it at midnight, I added an extra I into our name and on our legal paperwork. So we were clearly digital. We were French for a minute, and so but we are fixed now. We're fixed now. It took a while because the state of Florida is very or all the corrections and then the bank accounts and all the things. So, but it's funny because I was like, Lacey. So now it's like a big joke, like, Lacey, you check this before I submit this. So, just make sure you like the person you're doing business with. Don't jump into business because,
You can trust them.
you could trust them. I could trust her completely with anything. She knows everything. And I make sure you're very open about whatever, any skeletons you have in the closet, let them out, make sure that they're okay with it because, and make sure you like the family too. I think that's a big portion of it.
No, it's true because you both have families behind the scenes. They have to be okay with you working at midnight in different things, getting a business off the ground. And I think what you said is know the person. When you get in a partnership, it's a different type of marriage. I hate to say it, but it is. Like you're coming together, and those marriages that break up get messy really fast. And so you got to trust them. And you said transparency. Not many partnerships come in with transparency, and that's the difference. When you can be transparent about everything. Hey, these are my skeletons, because everybody has. Let's be honest. These are my skeletons. Are you okay with them or not? And then it's like, okay, we can move forward. But if you're hiding things, but you're not being 100% transparent, because for me, integrity, honesty, it's about transparency. Not what I said, but what I didn't say. So,
Will come out eventually.
100%. 100%. What about you?
So, one of the things that surprised me is, like Alex and I carry so much energy with us. It came like when we started it, we were like, okay, we know this person, this person, this person, this person, this person. And we were expecting it all to like happen like domino really fast. But then we started it and we were like, oh, wait, we can't sell a product that we haven't built yet. So like we had to build a system, right? And we had to, so just like take a deep breath, be calm and stay focused, but also because it was slower. So I don't know, maybe we should have planned some more in the beginning. Had a better execution plan. But also you're gonna have good days and you're gonna have bad days. Just wake up with a good attitude every morning and just, reset and keep going. You're starting a business because you have an idea, you have a dream, you have a passion that is driving you. You have to have true passion for it to drive you. And I think that some days, like I said, you're just going to have a bad day or every once in a while. But if you have a true passion about something, you can make it happen. You just have to be determined.
I love it. We're going to do a little spitfire real quick. We're going to be respectful every time. I know y'all got to get somewhere. But what's the best advice in like 2 words that you've ever received? Both of you.
Oh, goodness.
Mine would be just do it. I jump into it. I jump into everything that I do. If you know me in
So do I.
Narbum, I do, if I do it, I'm going to do it. That's a big thing for me. I don't do anything half-ass. I'm really much into it 110%, and just do it.
Okay.
There was a nugget that it was one of the nuggets I wanted to bring home with me from the conference. What did they say? I'm so bad at like quotes. I'm terrible. Don't make me answer this one. Just
Oh, yes. Wait, we'll move on. What's the worst advice you've ever received?
Do business with family.
Don't do that. Hey, yeah, you messy replay. Hey, I actually do business with my husband. Great opportunity, but it's a different dynamic. And you have to make sure when you go home, like, you figure out a way. And then when we first got married, we worked until 10, 11 o'clock at night, starting business. And so, yes, you have to be very, very careful. Friends and family, you got to be careful because you can mess up relationships very quickly. What's the worst advice you've ever received?
again, very bad at this kind of stuff. I tend to not retain bad advice. That's what I'm gonna go with.
Actually, I actually like what that reminds that. Okay, what's the best book that you could recommend for our listeners to read to help them with this entrepreneurial journey?
In the property management space, the one that I kind of pushed that one for the thing is it's by Darren Hunter, out of Australia. It is
I know Darren Hunter, but which book?
it's the PM fees and scripts. PM scripts and fees, and it's really taught me how to overcome objections in this space. But you can translate it to any kind of thing. Like one of the things that I use all the time is when people ask me for a discount. We very much push that we are not a discount warehouse. We do not provide, that's not what we do. And it basically says, for me to provide you a discount, I'd have to discount my services, and that's just not something I'm willing to do. And we've translated that into this business as well, because we're not going to be the cheapest, but you're going to get an ROI from our business that's going to show.
I love that. What about you?
I got the best advice one.
Oh,
Know your worth.
what? No,
Know your worth.
I love that one.
That's a good one. But so for the book, probably $1 Million Leads
That's good.
is a good one for me.
That is good. That's from Alex Hermosi. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
All of his books are,
They are all pretty good.
and they're quick reads. So
They are quick reads. They're not like, yeah, I love it. And to be honest, I don't read. I do
books on video,
Books on
audio.
audibles.
One of my secrets is I always have the book and the Audible. So I read the book and have the Audible going in my ear at the same time. It's just the way I retain information. So I buy the book twice, and I think that may make me stupid.
I've done that, but what I do is I listen to it. If I really like it, I buy the book. But the problem is I don't usually read. Well,
No, I'm literally reading the book as it's reading to me, and like I always have a business book going and a personal book, so I always have those kind of going. But until you have The Spare written by Prince Harry in your ear read to you, it's not the same. You know what I mean?
yeah. Business books that I highly recommend if you haven't read Amazon, if you haven't read Sam Walton all at the same time, you should. They actually intertwine. Amazon went over to Walmart, stole all the executives when he wanted to lead the team, and so that's what I did. Another one is Founders, amazing. I love Audibles, but there's a lot of great books out there. Find one that works for you. But guys, I appreciate your time. The last thing is, where can they find you?
Clearleaddigital.com. So it's clearleaddigital.com. You can find us anywhere at any NARPM show, usually, pretty much. But that's where we're at, and thank you for having us today. We're excited to be able to be here.
Are y'all going to IMN
I will be going. I don't know if you're going to be going.
in December?
I was not planning.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
So yeah.
Well, I'll be there too.
Yeah, we'll see you there.
Anyways, we really appreciate you coming out. Look them up, see what they're doing. They're doing great things. Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in today to The Road Less Traveled. If you're organizing an event, workshop, or simply planning something exciting and would like to have Tiffany Rosenbaum join you, or want to have her on your podcast, visit TiffanyMRosenbaum.com and click on Book Tiffany to get started.